So, you want to use your favorite character in the game but can't because they are doing jack shit to the enemy. This is what is referred to as power creep. And when it comes to Honkai Star Rail, it has recently found itself receiving a lot of backlash for releasing a very strong character named Castoris. Castoris is a strong character and does a lot of damage, sure, but the main thing that people hated was her global passive, which I was fine with until I learned that it activates even when she's not in the party. And I guess that's why it's called a global passive, I suppose. There are more characters with global passives coming out in the future, and I doubt she's the only one. My biggest issue with global passive characters isn't that it is making a character a must pull, but the candle. The candle! Yes! It's a good point, don't get me wrong, but if I pulled multiple future characters that have global passives, do I just have all of their effects at the same time? That would, granted, make the team a lot stronger. Like, who knows, maybe if you have enough global passives on your account, you can finally run your old fallen off units. To me, that's a massive problem. It's too big of an investment for you to use your favorite old characters. The most recent old unit that I have used was my Jingliu, and that was to see if she could beat the recent MOC 12, which she did in 9 cycles with some of the best supports in the game, by the way. I was surprised that she won, but still, that's not a very glowing performance. However, they are buffing 4 of the old characters, that being Silver Wolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jingliu. Whether their buffs will be game-changing, it's really up to the developers. I'm really hoping they make them viable again. Now, my main issue with power creep for a game like HSR isn't that the character is getting stronger than the last. My biggest issue is the HP inflation between every boss they release. Like, no joke, I remember playing Jingliu way back when Aventurine was released, and she did like 6% with an enhanced skill. Just for your info, I played the story after they nerfed the Aventurine boss. So, HP inflation always has been a problem in HSR. It's just that now it has reached to a point of backlash from the community, and they are very upset with it. If a main boss isn't stronger than the last, there would be no need for the next character to scale to the new boss HP. And because they have been gradually increasing the scaling of both enemies and characters over time, they have reached a point where the old characters require a lot of investments to perform well, or they just fall off. This game has no co-op or PvP, it's just you versus the AI, and I have no qualms with HSR releasing a strong character that can absolutely dominate the boss. Some may find it boring, but to me, I like having a mix of both. That's the purpose of having multiple teams anyways. One team is going to be stronger than the other, so you can either obliterate the enemy or use another team where it would be more challenging to face. Now, the issue is that I can only say that because I have been playing HSR since the very beginning every single day, and I have a lot of options for my team building. But what about the new players? Imagine you just started out playing the game with a beginning team and you try to fight the newer bosses, you're gonna get steamrolled. Like when I first fought against Phantalia with a team of beginner units, I really struggled. And the reason wasn't because they sucked, because 1.0, they were still fairly usable. The reason was because my units aren't built. Like, sure, Phantalia was strong at the time and would pose a challenge to players back then, but for me, I was on life support. I had Natasha working overtime, and that's because my units aren't built. They didn't have the proper artifacts, they didn't have the proper roles, they didn't even have the proper main stats. Now, imagine using a 1.0 team and not having any cracked out artifacts and max talents against a boss like the Flame Reaver. You would basically get one shot. Not every individual who plays HSR would actually grind to get those godly rolls. I had 2 friends struggle against the Sunday boss despite both of them having Acheron and a DOT team. Their team wasn't trained much at all, like their artifacts was trash, their talents was not, trained, and they struggled like hard. And Acheron was a fairly recent unit at the time as well. So yeah, artifacts matter a lot. And I have another friend who spent hours trying to beat Phantalia way back then, which granted might be a skill issue on his part, but still. HSR bosses, especially the recent ones, does feel like you need a team that not only works well, but you also need to have high level traces, good rolls and artifacts to do well. And even if you have a cracked out Jingliu, she's still going to struggle on the newer bosses. Trust me. Amazing, we're gonna be here for a while. I would know. So, if you plan to start off playing HSR as a new player, it's going to take a while for you to get the units that you want and actually build the characters before you can try and beat the newer bosses. There are just some units in the game that are just not worth pulling, and new players aren't gonna know who is usable and who has fallen off. And if you made the wrong choice, you basically wasted a lot of pulls. That being said, they are buffing old characters, which is massive. And if they continue doing this and make older characters viable again, then I suppose it does redeem it somewhat. But the HP inflation really has to stop, or else years later, there's going to be a patch note of casters getting buffed because Chi fell off. God knows how long that would take. After all this, am I quitting HSR? To be honest, not at all. I have good units and I can easily clear the game with no difficulty, and I have a lot of teams to play around. So no, I still really enjoy playing HSR and I plan to continue playing it. But for those who plan on playing it for the first time as it is now, just know it would take a while before you can perform well in the game. That's all I have to really say about the power creep in HSR. This is my first gacha scripted video and I plan to make an even bigger one in the future. You know, which gacha game you should play in 2025 between Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and Wuthering Waves. Expect that video within like a few months from now. I'll try to get it as fast as I can. Alright, see ya. Bye bye. Hold it. Hiya, if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and leave a like. I don't normally say this because I cringe at myself whenever I do it. My editor is listening to me stutter a lot, like a lot. Yeah, I'm pulling out all the breaks. I am putting a lot of effort, and if you like to support me, please subscribe, like, and I'll see when I'll create a Discord channel. Hopefully, you guys will come and support me whenever I do create it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I'll try to get better at this subscribe thing, alright? See you! For real now, for realsies. Alright, let's try that again. I don't normally do this, but all of you that I don't normally do this, but I would like to remind all of you to